Thank you so much for joining us to another podcast of Business Matters. My name is Mar Gonzalez. I'm an independent journalist here in Las Vegas, and I have the pleasure to be with these beautiful women, Dunia Antunes and Laura Nolan. And Dunia, you are the executive director, and Laura, you are the president and founder of Nevada Hispanic Business Group. How is this group helping the Las Vegas community and the entrepreneurs here?
Go ahead, Ms. Laura. Oh, how are we helping them? Well, it's a nonprofit organization. It's not a chamber, and we're here to bring the Hispanic and the non-Hispanic business community together. So there are many people that just don't know how to work with the Hispanic community, so we give them that edge, help them being able to connect with the Hispanic community. We also focus on advocacy when it has to do with businesses. We also do networking, education, and volunteering in our community. So I believe we're helping a lot of small businesses. I know when we first launched back in January 2015, there was 15 businesses that we actually launched out of our business incubator that we had. Remember on Easter back then? Yes, I remember that, Lise.
And so we have all these chambers here in Clark County in Las Vegas, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Colombian Chamber, many chambers. So how different is the Nevada Business Hispanic Group that's helping businesses, small business owners, and just people that are willing to jump in and pursue their own business?
Well, I believe that we help them because it's for professionals. So we have professionals, we have small business owners, we have entrepreneurs. So obviously, the chambers are going to help the startups and the entrepreneurs and the small business owners. They're going to help them even more, right? But then when you start your business, you get your licenses, you get your funding and all that stuff. So then you come to Nevada Hispanic Business Group where we work on your brand. We work on your business and the person. So we do a lot of personal development. So we connect you to the right people. We have a membership hub where we will connect you to the right industry. We will put you together where you guys could collaborate, support, educate each other. We have a speaker program too, which obviously that's why we have you here because that's our next program. We want our business owners to know what they're talking about, present their business, do workshops, shops, and seminars, right? So we're taking it up to the next level, and I believe that is what it makes us difference from chambers, so.
And it's not just about a check, because I can say that my experiences with chambers is they pay attention to the big players that are cutting those big checks. Where for us, it's more, we have our Buenos Dias, it's free. Come and get to know us. I can tell you that most people, I'm going to say probably in the 90%, feel completely welcomed. They're like, you are so different. It's like you guys are willing to give us contacts, exchanged information without us even having to pay to join your group.
That's right.
And now we know that Nevada Hispanic Business Group has been helping a lot of businesses here in Las Vegas. You said it, Dunia, they come already with their licensing, with all the documents and permits they need to start their business. But what about those that do not know how to get their licenses or permits to start up their business?
So we actually work with our resource partners, which are SCORES, Business and Industry, SBA. We direct them to that. Actually, Laura, if you could tell them a little bit about the guide that you help create with Business and Industry.
So there is a map that was created, and I was able to have the privilege and the honor to being part of that with Business of Industries, that we created a roadmap to how to start a business. And so you could go on to that site, and I was part of that journey of creating it and showing people how to start a business. And so, I mean, that's one of our success stories, right?
Yes.
But we're really close with the SBA. When we first launched in 2015, the SBA opened up their office for us to actually have our Buenos Dias there. And so we've been really close with working with the SBA ever since we started. They're a big federal agency that really is here to help that entrepreneur to get started. So we have a lot of entrepreneurs that join our group just because they're trying to figure out how do we even start, right? And we're able to get them to the resources that are free because it's our tax dollars that are paying for them. It's not that you have to pay for these resources. As a matter of fact, that's how I got started is with the Women's Business Center, with SCORE. I mean, my SCORE representative literally didn't even want to meet with me anymore because he's like, "You're ready." He just pretty much went, "Go." And I'm like, "I'm gonna prove this, man. Let me go start my business then." And then when he saw me again, I go, "I started my business." He goes, "I knew. I just had to push you."
Yes.
And as of right now, how many businesses have you guys been helping? And during these times that people are just freaking out about everything, the economy, gas prices, instability, what is your message and how are you guys helping them to look for hope and to know that, yes, even though when the economy is not good, that there is hope and there are resources to keep their business afloat?
If I may add to that, what you're just saying right now, with the economy not doing well, that's actually when is the best time to start your business. Many people are laid off, they're not working, we're really high still on unemployment. And so here's your opportunity. You're not working, figure it out, right? Because when you're starting a business, you're pretty much solving a problem for someone. So I think right now is actually a good time to start a business.
Yes, and we believe in not being an employee. We want not just our children, but the next generation not to be employees. We want them to be entrepreneurs, and that's what we're teaching them. So, by leading by example, like I was an employee back in the day, and then I was self employed, and now I'm looking to be an investor, a business owner where I don't have to be there. As a notary, I have to be there in the office to make money, right? But Laura doesn't have to be in her office to make money. So
Ching ching. No.
Laura is a business. Yeah, I'm self-employed. So this is what we're teaching them. We're teaching them that, okay, it's okay to be an employee at the beginning, right? And then you're going to be self-employed. It's okay. And then you want a business where you don't have to be there. Laura is doing her podcast here. Somebody's managing her office and she's making money. So that's what we want. That's what Nevada Hispanic Business Group is teaching. And that's another different things that we're teaching.
I will tell you, though, that there are some individuals that it's best that they never own a business. They will always be an employee, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that's where they're gonna be. It's gonna be the best seat for them. And so sometimes the journey, when you're opening up a business, you find out, you know what? This is really not the journey I need to be on. And so now I've got to figure out how I'm gonna sell my business, how I'm gonna close it down, how I'm gonna, you need to have then an exit strategy on how to do that. And so we will offer those type of resources for them and guidance. And we don't have to reinvent the wheel. These services are already out there. We just have to share what is out there.
And it's to shift the mentality, Dunia, of what you were just talking about, right? That to help people and these entrepreneurs change that mentality that you don't depend on a company because the corporate world, I mean, you're just another number on a spreadsheet, right? They can just delete you when you're no longer of service. No one's indispensable. You're replaceable. And this is another resource that the Nevada Hispanic Business Group does to help people. And I understand, Laura, you said that not everyone is not to be an entrepreneur. So, how do you, when people come into your door and they need help, how do you discern to understand that, like, okay, this one has a future as becoming an entrepreneur, and this one, he's not there and he's just going to stay as an employee?
Well, first thing is you need to know your why. And your why needs to be so strong that if those lights are going to be turned off, that you're not going to give up. You're going to figure it out and you keep going. So, an entrepreneur is literally not even the same thing as a business owner. Because there are business owners and they're great business owners, but all they'll do is just run one business, right? An entrepreneur is a visionary that one business is not enough. You're pretty much, you see ahead, you have a vision, and you just continue building new businesses. There's really not that many entrepreneurs that can do that, okay? Because they have to be visionaries. How do you figure it out? If you are looking for that security of always getting a paycheck, then you're going to be an employee. That's where you need to stay because you're pretty much helping someone else build their business and they're paying you for it. And there are others that want that liberty, but you also have to be willing to do a lot of sacrifice to get there. I mean, I was working 24/7 for years and for free. I wasn't even getting a paycheck for years. I'm in my 11th year now, and now I'm looking, okay, now it's time for me to start exiting out. And, but I've been building a team to be able to do that. Right? So to answer the question, it's just I you gotta really ask those hard questions to the individual. And a lot of times, just the way they're responding, you're like, "You're gonna be a horrible employee. You need to figure it out, and what kind of business are you gonna start?" I remember talking to my nephew years ago, and I'm like, "Dude, like, what is it that you wanna do?" Because he kept like, "I got released again. I got released here, and this person complaining, complaining." And I really sat there and listened to him. I go, you're not an employee. You need to figure out what type of business you're going to start. And to this day, he still owns his own business. He does events, does photography. He does things where he's calling the shots. And you can tell that just by their personality when you sit down and talk to them and get to know the person.
And with going back to the economy not doing well and providing these resources, and you're saying that this is actually the best time to start your own business. We saw it in COVID 2020. A lot of people started their own business. A lot of people did even more when even before the pandemic where everything was opened. So, how do you just provide that mentality and that sense of hope to just people to continue pursuing their dreams, and not just that, but to the point that their business is a need to solve the problem that people have here?
Well, I know for me during COVID, that's when I actually did, I want to say it was like 5.5 in million in gross sales. I was the busiest time I had ever
Okay.
been. While people were, staying at home, I'm like, no, I've got to go figure this out. I'm like, I'm getting a plane ticket to Texas. I'm going to Texas. I'm going to go look for work and I'm going to keep going because there is no such thing of closing the world down. So where was it? Logistics. We have to move product. So it just has to be born in you. It just has to come out. You just have to be led. I don't know.
I believe that. I believe that because you could tell, like, the members that come into my office, I could tell, they have everything ready. They come in with a business plan. I didn't even tell them to do a business plan. They come in and show me their business plan. So I'm like, that is an entrepreneur right there. Because sometimes they really don't know. They're looking at ideas and everything. Oh, I don't know how to do it. So we have the resources for you to do it, right? And they come in and you'd say, hey, you should come to the SCORE mentors, you should come to this program. They don't even show up.
Right.
So what does that tell you right there?
So is it something that you would say something that either you have it or you don't, or something that you can also develop?
Yes, and it could be also a season.
Yes.
For I'm gonna say probably about the last few months, I've been in a season where I'm like, I really needed to just take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't mean I wasn't an entrepreneur
Right.
anymore. I stopped being an entrepreneur. It's just it was a season where I needed to be more still,
Okay.
where I even stopped this podcast. I go, time out. I'm stopping the podcast. I really don't know what direction I'm heading right now, and I need to figure it out. So sometimes it's just a season that the person's in. I don't know if that helps answering your question. Um,
It absolutely is. And giving the group that's been helping with the resources and just anything that a business owner needs or a startup business, as two women, mothers, wives, how do you portray this to your members in the Nevada Hispanic Business Group when they come in, and you can be like, hey, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I have all these things going on, and I'm on top of that, I have a business. How do you show them these all these challenges and all these jobs that we have as women to continue being a business owner?
You're a fine example, being a role model.
And that's why I said you really have to know your why, right? My why to starting a business is I was sick and tired of building other people's businesses and not leaving a legacy for my kids. So through faith, I knew that I needed to start my business. It was through the connection of the Holy Spirit that I needed to start it. I needed $500,000 to open up a staffing firm. I started with $200. $200 and a client that was willing to open up their facility to me, giving me all computers, the internet, office, desk, everything for me to go ahead and launch. And they even said, "We're your first guinea pigs. Start your staffing firm.
Yeah.
We're going to help you." You know, so I, I don't know. I mean, people look at me and they say, "Dang, she's got it all together. It's so easy. She's got it all under control." It's a lot of work. And especially if you're doing something you don't like doing. I'm very passionate of what I do. So to me, it comes really natural.
But not everyone has that.
But not everybody.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone's not an entrepreneur. Not even a business owner is not always an entrepreneur.
And it also involves taking risk.
Oh, a lot.
It's a risk all the time, financially, mentally, family,
Yes.
everything, and sacrificing too. So, how is that applicable? All these lections that you've learned throughout your journey to the group.
I think our experience of us being open to share our failures and our successes, our challenges that we've had, I think that when we keep it real, people then understand, right? And then they make a decision.
Yeah.
Do I want to take that chance where I can't pay the utilities, where I'm the last one that gets paid because I have to pay everyone else? Especially when you start hiring employees, it's no longer about you. You got to figure it out because you have a big responsibility for the people.
You do. I think also you have to have a lot of discipline. You have to be disciplined. You have to be motivated. If you don't have those and you can't lead yourself, then you can't lead others, and you really can't lead and have a business, because if you can't do that for yourself, then you're not going to be a role model. You're not going to help anybody. But once you are that leader and you lead yourself, and they see, and they, the community sees you as a leader, absolutely, right? That's when you start thinking, boy, I'm a leader. I need to improve every day. I need to be disciplined. I need to motivate others. So now you're like, oh my God, I want more, more, more. So you have that spirit in you. So if you have that spirit in you, that's all you need. That's all you
Yeah.
need.
The way I look at it is I'm always a student.
Yes.
I don't know everything, and I always trying to learn from everyone. I try to continue taking classes. I remember an instructor told me once when I was younger, once a student, always a student. And that's how I feel. I'm constantly taking classes, constantly reading, picking up new books, watching videos of stuff that's going to be able to help me.
And that's something that takes a lot from a leader, knowing that we don't know it all, right? That we don't have it all figured out. And it also takes humility to be humble and to know that in order to maintain this and keep this going, that we need to keep learning and studying and preparing ourselves. And this is definitely a true example of leadership, Laura.
Oh, thank you.
So going back to the Nevada Hispanic Business Group, how often are these meetings? How are members recruited? Where can they find this information? What else do they need to know?
Well, we have, you could go to the website, nvhbg.org. You can find us on all social media. I just started the TikTok, so you might not be looking that. So you're right. We're always learning. So I just started that TikTok. So We have LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We have Eventbrite that has all our next events. Buenos Dias is actually this Thursday, and it's the second Thursday of every month, different locations, so we can highlight our business owners' office business. It's going to be at her office. Sia's now staffing this Thursday. And then we have a luncheon, and then we have Meet the Voters, right?
Yeah.
Tell 'em about
Yeah.
Meet the Voters.
So Meet the Voters, we're going to have that on April the 22nd at one of the community centers. Is it
Las
the
Vegas Seaside Community Center at 4:30 to 7:30.
in the afternoon? And what we want to do is we actually put even ads in papers, doing a lot of social media to cover it, because we're not reaching out to the candidates directly. We're just putting announcements out there. We want Democrats, we want Republicans, we want independents. We want them to come out here and tell us why we should vote for them. And then they get to meet people like us, right? We're the voters.
Of course.
So tell me why. Yeah. Tell me why we should be voting for you. And our emphasis are, what are you doing for the small business community? Because we're the heartbeat of America.
For the economy.
Yeah.
And this is the main goal, right? Bringing community together, the not only small business, but just people gathering to learn more about candidates and just what's out there for the economy and how they're able to have a future in this role that we've said it. Not trying to be negative, but that the economy is not doing well, but how we can, what we need, what the people need, and it's definitely amazing. And so you have Buenos Dias coming up this Thursday. Now, is this something that you guys are also putting up on more on social media? You said it, but
Yes.
are you guys doing any more like Facebook Lives or just putting the message out there?
Well, yes, sometimes I go Facebook Live, and I'm going to start doing that more because it's very important for our community, to do live and everything. And sometimes I feel like, oh, it's not about me or anything like that. But so I'm going to put all my members in live. So we're working on that. We're working on that. And but going back to the April 22nd, Meet the Voters, it's because we have 3 members that are running for office. So that's another thing that makes us different. So there's 3 members that are running for office, and that's how we help them. We put together a program or an event where they could come and we could help them with media exposure. So we're going to have content date for them where we're going to have our media there.
Yeah, Business Hatters. Yeah, we'll be covering it.
There covering it. El Nuevo Mundo will be covering it, and they're going to go live. We're going to go live too. And all the candidates are going to have an information candidate booth where they could bring their own cameras. So that way they will be able to do a lot of content for their social
Campaign.
media. And they could go live there too. Because this is great. Everybody wants to do commercials. Everybody wants to make sure that they have their name brand over there. And so I think this is going to be a fun event. It's going to be like, those political events, which we've never put one together, but this is good.
This is the first one for Nevada Hispanic Business Group. It's not the first one for me, because with Meet the Voters, we actually started an organization with Fan Chu for that. And we had a lot of candidates at that particular one at Ahern Hotel, but this time we're going to try to do it at a community center, more central in the sense where hopefully we get more people from the community out there and candidates from all over the valley.
And it's very important because they're going to come and tell us why we should vote for them. And that way we meet them. And also, we're going to elect them into office. So it's about us, really. We're electing them to help us, especially in the small business advocacy side, right?
Yes.
Which is very good for people to know all the good stuff that the Nevada Business Hispanic Group is doing. And now going back to what the goal of Nevada Hispanic Business Group, what more is that you guys are trying to accomplish? We know that the organization has been in business for just many years. So we know that a lot has been happening here in Vegas, helping a lot of business owners. Now, what more and what's the objective from here to the next 10 years?
Yeah, so I would say we've been around for 11 years, but during COVID, because I'm one of the main funders of the nonprofit organization as one of the co-founders, I pretty much released it to the community as I went and opened up a branch in Texas, in Indiana, Arizona, and was traveling most of the time. And then also built a team in Mexico to help us with the staffing firm. In March of last year, we took it back. So now we're trying to get it back to where it was before, but even stronger because we had national recognition. I mean, we got invited to the White House. We had a lot of things that were happening with our organization. And so right now we kind of have to just shift and pivot because there's seasons, right? What is the biggest need right now? Well, the biggest need is how do we help these people who are unemployed? Can we either place them somewhere to work? Can we place them in a volunteer segment? Or can we show them how to start their business, right? A lot of mental health issues. So then what do? We're teaming up also with Victory Outreach, Las Vegas, with their rehab homes. They're helping out men, they're helping out women, they're helping out families. So depending on what season we're in, what's going on in our community. But I think right now, mental health is a major issue we still haven't been able to overcome since COVID. Many people, as you know, we have this conversation, they're still lost in COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
We can see it.
Yeah.
We see it everywhere.
Yes.
All right. Well, time is running up. So just to end this beautiful interview, what's the message out there for the members and for future members, people who are trying to come to the Nevada Hispanic Business Group?
Well, we want them to feel free to come to any of our events. Come see if the energy is there. Come see if they want to join us because, like Laura said, it's not for everyone.
Okay.
And you will see the difference just as soon as you walk in. And if you want to start your business, this is a great place because we have the resources, we have the friendships, the mentorship, the education, and I think we also have role models that are going to be good for that member. So we want everybody to join us. We need a lot of volunteers. We need a lot of trainers to come and help educate our community.
Right. And why not practice with us? Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
So if you're trying to be a podcaster, well, come on, let us help you start your podcast and you'll train with us.
Yeah.
Right. Some shows are going to air and some shows are not.
Sure.
I'm like, sometimes we have technical difficulties. That was my sign all the time, right? I'm like, sorry, it didn't air. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
The mics weren't working right. The camera was horrible. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Dunia and Laura. And thank you so much for tuning into this podcast with Business Matters.
Make sure that you click on the link below and follow us.